Hello, and thanks for joining me, your Sport Files, James Lurian, on another exciting edition of Sport Files on DNT World, where we'll bring you exciting and latest sport happenings across the world of sports every Tuesday, as is our tradition to do this. This week will be an exception, so I would implore you to please stay tuned because we'll be right back shortly after this break. Welcome back. It's a beautiful Tuesday, and starting from the world of boxing, where we'll bring you an exciting one as the fight that will be taking place between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. The undisputed World Heavyweight Championship fight between these two has been postponed from February 17 to May 18, 2024, after Tyson Fury sustained an injury during the training ahead of the fight between these two. You remember that Tyson Fury had a cut at his face during the training, and such the match between these two has been postponed and will be taking place May 18. Will Alexander Usyk be able to defeat Tyson Fury? These two are champions when it comes to the world of boxing. We'll be waiting to experience that fight between these two, the undisputed heavyweight championship between these two, and let's see who will be winning the title this time around in the world of boxing. And also let's move down to the world of Formula One, where we talk about Lewis Hamilton, the man that has won the most race in the world of Formula One, has announced that he will be leaving Mercedes and he will be joining Ferrari come the year 2025. This will be his last season with Mercedes. The year 2024 season will be the last season of Lewis Hamilton with the Mercedes. Will he be able to make it a remarkable one? Remember, last season he was unable to win any race, and Max Verstappen showed dominance in last season's race in the world of Formula One. Will Lewis Hamilton be able to make his last season and last year with the Mercedes count? And if he'll be able to win any race this season in the world of Formula One, you will remember that Lewis Hamilton spent 11 years with Mercedes before announcing that he will be joining Ferrari in the year 2025. And another thing talking about the Ferrari team is that Ferrari driver, also when you talk about Carlos Sainz, has announced that he will be leaving Ferrari at the end of the 2024 season. Carlos announced this shortly after Lewis Hamilton said he will be joining Ferrari, but Carlos with an unknown destination when he will be leaving the Ferrari in the year 2024. Let's see where Carlos will be joining after leaving the Ferrari, though Ferrari will be welcoming Lewis Hamilton, and let's see if he will be able to make an outstanding performance on that Ferrari. Remember that Lewis Hamilton has already won 103 races in the world of Formula One, and he holds the record of the driver with the most race won in the world of Formula One. With Lewis Hamilton be able to do wonders in his final year with Mercedes? That's the question, and let's see if he'll be able to do wonders come next year 2025 in the world of Formula One. And quickly let's move down to the world of football, where we'll talk about a team in form. We continue to talk about Bayern Leverkusen, who are unbeaten in 29 matches in all competition this season. Bayern Leverkusen won during the weekend again to extend their winning streak in the world of football. You remember that they are sitting 2 points clear at the Bundesliga table ahead of the defending champion Bayern Munich. But an interesting one is that Bayern Leverkusen will be taking on Bayern Munich during the weekend in an oncoming match in the Bundesliga. Will they be able to extend their lead in the Bundesliga, as the club leading in the Bundesliga will be taking on the defending champion Bayern Munich this weekend? Will they be able to see off Bayern Munich to extend their winning streak in the world of football to 30 unbeaten matches and extend their win at the top of the Bundesliga table to 5 points, or will Bayern Munich be able to dominate both Bayern Leverkusen during this weekend match? It will be an interesting one to watch between these two in the Bundesliga. And also talking about the Bundesliga and the Bayern Munich team, we talk about Thomas Müller, the legend of the club who has won 500 matches with Bayern Munich. He's the first player to do so, recording 500 wins with Bayern Munich. Quite an interesting one for Thomas Müller at his age, representing Bayern Munich very well. He plays at home soil Germany as a German player also, and is here to retire in the world of football and continues to do incredibly well in the world of football. Also a player doing well in the Bundesliga also that we can't fail to talk about is the Englishman Harry Kane, who has 24 goals already in the Bundesliga just in the month of February. How many more goals will Harry Kane be able to score for Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga this season? Definitely he will be able to score more than 30 goals this season in the Bundesliga. But let's keep our fingers crossed as we go on a very short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and before the break we were talking about the Bundesliga, but quickly let's talk about the Serie A as Inter Milan defeated Juventus during the weekend to extend their lead in the Serie A table to 4 points clear at the top of the table. They were able to defeat Juventus during the weekend with a narrow win, 1-0 to secure their top spot in the Serie A table. And another interesting one when you talk about the La Liga, you talk about Real Madrid playing a draw against Atletico Madrid. That was a Madrid derby between these two. They were able to share points between themselves as Real Madrid extend their win at the top of the table. They were able to go 2 points clear during the weekend as Girona follow closely. Barcelona follow at the third position, and also you remember that Atletico Madrid are sitting comfortably at the 4th position in the Champions League spot. Atletico Madrid was able to rescue a point against Real Madrid at the latter end of that particular match, as Real Madrid will be hoping to build up momentum and continue with their wonderful form in the La Liga this season to be able to win the title this season, though Girona are putting close pressure on Real Madrid this season in the La Liga. And also an interesting one in the world of football is the Premier League. The Premier League continues to show us so many dramatic football during the weekend. You remember that Luton didn't give up without a fight as they were able to secure a 4-4 draw against Newcastle. Quite an interesting one for the team that has been struggling with relegation. They have been able to win against Brighton 4-0, and against Newcastle they were able to share points with the team that was able to make it to the Champions League last season. Luton doing incredibly well in the world of football. But yet another dramatic one in the Premier League during the weekend was Arsenal defeating Liverpool during the weekend, 3-1. Quite an interesting one for Mikel Arteta's side as they close the gap between them and Liverpool at the top of the Premier League table. Currently Liverpool are sitting first in the Premier League table, but their point is being narrowed down to 2 points at the top of the Premier League table. Arsenal following closely, and Manchester City, you know that they are not giving up without a fight in the Premier League this season. The race to the Premier League has been turned to 3-horse race between Manchester City, Arsenal and Liverpool. Who will be winning it this season? Let's hope Arsenal will be able to win it, or Liverpool, but definitely I personally don't want Manchester City winning the Premier League this season. And another interesting one talking about the Manchester side is that Manchester United were able to get their 3rd win in the month of February, defeating West Ham 3-0. And in that particular match, we saw the birthday boy Haaland scoring a goal and Garnacho scoring a brace against West Ham during the weekend. Manchester United are back within the Europa League competition, and will they be able to qualify for next European football next season? let's keep our fingers crossed and let's see what will be the outcome in the Premier League this season. And also an interesting one talking about football is the African Cup of Nations. Nigerians are through to the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations, and they'll be taking on South Africa in the semi-finals of that competition. As the Bafana makes it to the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations for the first time since the year 2000, they'll be facing the Super Eagles in the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations. This week, will they be able to defeat Nigeria, or will Nigeria be able to surpass the Bafana South Africa to win and proceed to the finals of the African Cup of Nations, the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations? And also an interesting one is that the host country, Ivory Coast, with so many dramatic performances, were able to scale through and they are made it to the semi-finals of the competition, where they'll be taking on DR Congo in the semi-finals of that competition on Thursday. Will they be able to defeat DR Congo and set up the finals between probably them South Africa in the finals of the competition? You know that Ivory Coast, with a narrow win against Senegal during the penalty shootout and also with a dramatic turnaround against Mali, were able to make it to the semi-finals of that competition. Will they go ahead to win the competition that they are hosting on home soil and the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations? So many exciting football in this month of February, and on Sunday we'll be witnessing the finals of the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations. We'll be singing the national anthem of Nigeria at the finals of the African Cup of Nations. Or will the host country be able to win it, or we'll be seeing another shock and see DR Congo lifting the African Cup of Nations? This is the length at which will be going on this week edition of Sport Vibe on DNT World. For more news and sports stories, please follow us across our various social media and Sport Vibe on DNT World. Remain a law-abiding citizen. Enjoy your week. Thank you.